And this beautiful Saturday continues to roll on, no matter what corner of the globe you happen to call home. Want to thank you, be the first one to thank you, and hopefully the first of many to thank you for being a part of the ADL broadcast and spending some time here with us today, spending your weekend here with us as well. It's just going to be me on the mic for the rest of the evening, and yeah, only two more left. We're going to have a doubleheader between these two teams. Smeagol really looking good in their last game, taking on Payne International. Poor Payne still looking for their first win here in the ADL. And I'll tell you what, if nothing else, I hope those guys do stick together. And it's a double-edged sword. You know, I've harped on and on since the very first ADL broadcast about the purpose of this league and the essential value I think it has to the development of the North and South American Dota scenes and so on and so forth. But it is a double-edged sword. Sometimes you have a bad run like they're having right now, the fact they can't seem to find themselves a win no matter how hard they try. It can have a real ill effect, and I hope those guys just take away from this what they should be taking away from it. Wins and losses to a certain extent don't matter. Like, if you're a team who chances are is not going to go deep, but you're taking this opportunity just as a chance to play against the best, to learn, and to just improve yourselves and look to find ways to take that next step. I hope they can walk away from this no matter how many games they win or lose and say, okay, that's fine. Let's just make ADLs. Okay, let's say we only win 2 games. Let's go for 3 or 4 in ADL Season 2. And take it incrementally like that. And whenever I see teams fail or teams disband, a lot of times that's the reason why it happens is they're not realistic with their expectations, because the Dota scene, and this is something I've had the pleasure of learning firsthand and has come from hard comparisons to the StarCraft scene, for example. The StarCraft scene does have its established legends, Jaedong, and of course, for a while there, really loved seeing July Zerg make it to GSL finals and all that. And those who know StarCraft know what I'm talking about. Their worst, hell, Boxer I actually got to meet Boxer. Oh my God, Zomj! But nonetheless, sorry, flashing back to my StarCraft fanboy moments there. I got to say, in one MLG, I got to shake the hand and meet Boxer. Got to meet Boxer. I got to meet July Zerg, and I got to meet. Oh my God, how can I forget his name? Nada. Got to meet Nada. So being a guy from a Brood War background as well, that was pretty thrilling. Not gonna lie, it's a pretty big deal. But anyway, you have your legends, but the thing about, Brood War, even going back, just the difference between Brood War and StarCraft 2 is very stark. So you had these legends who made the transition. Many of them never really found their rhythm. I mean, Nada had some good performances. Boxer was fun to watch, but never really had a breakout moment, and then retired, of course. And same with July Zerg, who his team Startail, though, is still, as I understand it, pretty big deal. But with Dota, the games do feel different and play different, but, I mean, for the most part, they're the same game. They're the same game, and you just have this extremely long backlog of talent, of people who, even youngsters, 16, 17-year-old kids, and much love to you. I don't mean that in a pejorative. I mean, you guys are just young, who have been playing Dota or some variation thereof for 4 or 5 years now. And it's so hard for a new team, especially if it's composed of newer players, to really crack into that just because of the learning curve, not necessarily in terms of just the pure learning curve of the game, but the learning curve that comes from playing in a competitive setting.
5 seconds.
No matter how good you look in scrims, no matter how good you can play on pubs, it's just a different ball game playing just an online tournament. So the point of this long-winded harangue is that there are going to be some teams inevitably, and one of those teams is Insight. So this is directed at those guys as well if they go back and listen to this VOD, but also directed to the audience, just from my point of view. There are going to be some teams that are going to be in the bottom, and Insight looking to be one of them. They're struggling. Payne struggling quite a bit. But I really hope the players don't try to think of it as we missed our chance, therefore disband, find a new team. That is so counterproductive. I hope they stick together, and I hope names are coming up in conversation about teams that could potentially find a qualifier invite to TI for 2014. That has to be the goal. And Smeagol is in that conversation as well, though Smeagol's playing a little bit better Dota right now. They're just a little bit more of an experienced team and playing fairly well. But anyway, I respect the team so much and respect the players so much and really respect Sean, again, the progenitor of the ADL, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. So got to go through this probably once a day just because I know how the internet is. I know the Kappa faces. I know the scorn of the Kappa faces, and I don't want the players facing that. I want you guys to understand, at least from my point of view, why this tournament is so valuable and why what the teams are doing, even whenever they do have a hard time finding a win from time to time, why they, in my mind, deserve respect and deserve some accolades, such as they are. Enough about that. Let's talk Dota and the Dota game right in front of us. Bad Rider, Lifestealer, and the Rubik banned out by Smeagol. No EO, Keeper of the Light, or Gyrocopter joining us as Insight has no wish for their company. They grabbed the Naga and the Clockwork. Naga been making a real resurgence lately. Still very much a situational pickup based on team to team, but have seen Naga Siren doing exceptionally well out of mid. Now, if there is one problem that Naga does open up, if you want to call it a problem, I mean, it's just something that I guess it's true of any hero. But of Naga in particular, she is a melee hero, which means this is the kind of lineup you can look at this and go, okay, Naga likely to be mid because that's what everyone's doing right now. They just are recognizing how strong Riptide actually is, falling 6.78 in a buff to that. And I touched on this earlier today. One of the other reasons I think Naga's doing so well in mid and why people are really enjoying playing her in mid, not only does she have Riptide, which serves the same function as Breathe Fire or Shockwave for a Magnus or Breathe Fire for the Dragon Knight, which is just allowing you to CS and do a little free harass, so long as you have decent rune control and or good bottle control with the bottle crowing, even post-nerf bottle crowing. And so she has that. But more than anything, she has a 1-point wonder of an ability that is a guaranteed disable and a great way to lead off smoke ganks. If she has help coming out of the jungle from her supports trying to gank mid, leading off with an ensnare is perfect. The range on it is so long, so she can toss that thing from a ways away. It's guaranteed. I mean, even if it's a life stealer. I mean, just as an example, because he has built-in magic immunity, it doesn't matter. It goes through magic immunity. So there, it's just such a great hero that makes it really hard for even dedicated mids. Like TA is a great example. TA would suffer against Naga Siren. I don't mean she would get beat. TA just actually picked up. Funny thing was, I wasn't even looking at the screen when she was picked. So, like, Naga, if she goes mid, should do okay against TA. She should. Again, there's skill difference and everything else to take into mind. But on paper, TA is going to get her CS and do just fine, but Naga should be all right too. And they're going to have a chance to actually gank her because of the ensnare. And looking at Insight, I like their lineup so far. Smeagol, though, is just well-rounded. Like, yeah, with the Visage, I really like the way Smeagol's lineup looks right now. All they really need at this point is going to be, I mean, they could offensively tri-lane this very easily, actually. And to me, they have two options here. They don't have any dedicated initiation at this point. I would love a Juggernaut, actually. A Juggernaut pick, run him in the offensive tri-lane with the Visage and the Shadow Demon, TA mid, Lone Druid in farming the solo safe. From what you see, you can bet it'll be Clock versus Lone Druid, Clock in the off, Naga in mid against TA, which again, even though Naga should do okay there, your TA certainly going to do okay as well. Get her a quick Blink Dagger, less Shrek, plus one more support, and a carry is going to be your only concern. And looking at the carries that are out, the Lifestealer's gone, the Kunkka's gone, the Gyrocopter's gone. So if Smeagol bans out a Luna here, I'm going to have a hard time seeing how Insight could stand up to a Visage Shadow Demon +1. And they honestly, Smeagol can just pick a Luna if they want to go into that offensive tri-lane. I would really, really like that. It would be 3-ranged. Visage already has great range. Visage's Grave Chill after the disruption and Lucent Beam and Luna's ability to pursue because of her fast attack, fast movement speed.
10 seconds remaining.
I think that would be a solid draft. It just comes down to how much pressure Smeagol wants to put on. The Weaver pickup from Insight is interesting. Trying to defensively tri-lane a Weaver, I mean, you can do it. There's nothing wrong with it. It often feels like a waste just because the hero is so good coming out of the off lane. Maybe they'll mid him. Maybe they'll end up defensively tri-laning the Naga Siren. And yeah, there's the Juggernaut ban. So Insight definitely on the same page I was. Taking out the Jug. Luna's still available. Luna would work really well here. Queen of Pain, actually, would be excellent in an offensive tri-lane as well. Either of those for Smeagol would give them... Yep, there's the Luna. Hooray! Me and my American brethren all think alike. But So I would wager just about anything that's going to be an offensive tri lane, and it should be based on what they see. TA is going to do a great job in mid. Lone Druid will benefit from his matchup as well. And Insight, they've got options. I mean, you can run the clock mid, off the weave, send Naga Siren down to the defensive tri lane. And looking at the support still available, Bane's gone, Rubik's gone, Nick Assassin gone. A lot of high-level supports are gone. It's hard for me.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, looking at the lineup, it's just hard to find a support that really fits in unless they just want to go with a double stun, go with something like a Lina. Lina wouldn't be bad at all. A Lion actually wouldn't be too bad. Lion might be able to make work, but they definitely need another support. I actually kind of like the idea of a Lion pick because it gives them a little bit more disable. Lina with Light Strike Array, certainly not bad in that department. Or Jakiro. THD. Certainly gets the job done as well. But, the Ice Pass setup for it's going to be a tough offensive tri lane. They don't have to offensively tri lane it, by the way. They don't have to. They can just very safely run the Luna if they want. And they might decide to do that. Lone Druid would suffer a lot from that, though. He would not be able to creep skip, which is a phrase I'm trying to incorporate more because I think it's probably the most accurate description of what Druid does whenever he uses his bear to grab lane creeps way back near the tier 2. He's going to have a hard time with an Ensnare, an Ice Path, and a Split Earth to catch the bear out. It's just not something he's going to get away with maybe more than once without feeding that bear at least once. So sending him into the solo safe up against ostensibly the clock would make the most sense.
Remaining.
They may, again, it's kind of hard to call how they're going to lane this out. But quick pause. Once again, gives me an opportunity to remind you that you need to hit follow here on twitch.tv/American Dota League. And you can disable the notifications if you don't want the little emails. But still, it's very important for the growth of tournaments and of channels to be able to go to sponsors or go to potential investors or whatever and say, hey, look, we have what I would label a captive audience. It's like, yes, we have all these raw viewership numbers. We have viewership hours of X across week X, and that's all valuable. But there is a lot of value in being able to go and say, oh, and by the way, we have 1,000 people who get emailed every time we go live. And, that alone can be very impressive in and of itself to especially those who are looking to dabble in esports, not looking to, drop 10 G's or anything, but those who are just looking to test the waters and see what returns they can get. So would love it if you'd hit follow here on the ADL. And if you enjoy what you're hearing and what you're seeing, you're more than welcome to follow me as well. You can find me on twitch.tv/ACTV, AYESEETV, and over on Twitter @AC, @AYESEE. Reminder that for the next 2 days, we will be off from the ADL. I'll probably be able to do at least one more, maybe 2 more ADL broadcasts next week. Probably it'll be Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday and Wednesday, or just Tuesday, one of the two. And the reason, obviously, I'm going to DreamHack. I will be at DreamHack Summer, and for our European brothers and sisters that are listening in, please come say hello to me. I want to meet you. And I don't want you to, you're more than welcome if you want to run up and go, oh my God, AC, I love you. That's fine. The reason I want to meet you is because I love you guys. I get to do this every day for a living, and I get to go to Sweden because you guys are awesome that way. So, no jokes aside, seriously, come say hi to me at DreamHack if you happen to be in the building. You will not disturb me. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. If you want to say hello to me, and you can, and if you're worried, don't worry about it. Oh, yeah, it's been a long day. If you're worried, just you're more than welcome to just remind me that during the ADL broadcast on this lovely Saturday afternoon, I gave you free and full permission to come bug me to your heart's content. And yes, I will make a ringtone for your phone. I actually, that's probably one of the funnier things. I got asked that 2 or 3 times at the International. I haven't had a live event since then, and really looking forward to this. This will be my last big live event since last year. But got a lot going on, a lot confirmed for the next few months. DreamHack Winter coming up and next week. Then DreamHack Valencia in July. Then I'll be back to the International. Thank you so much, Valve, and to you guys for that. I can't tell you how touching and how amazing it is that I get to be a part of that event, all because of you all. And that'll be in the first week of August. Then I got other stuff, too. Got other stuff going on that I can't talk about yet. But I'll put it this way. I'll be traveling more through the winter months as well. Looks like we are going to get underway. The weave heading to the off lane will be the mid-Naga Siren. Jakiro. And they're actually going to... Okay. I mean, I don't mind this. This is the definition of a defensive tri-lane. I've seen 3 support offensive tri-lanes and have never minded that at all. But a 3 support, and that's... I mean, this will be a farming clock, but you just don't farm the clock. I mean... Well, I guess you can. Now that I think about it, I have seen 3 support offensive tri-lanes farm the clock. But yeah, this is just a purely defensive maneuver. The problem is the matchups in the other lanes favor SMG. Like, Weaver's gonna not do that great against the Druid. I mean, Druid should be able to harass him with the Bearer. He can spam Shikuchi, but you can only spam it so often. I mean, you can't just spam it beginning to end. Will be an offensive tri-lane. There goes the wards down. And SMG going to be able to take control of the jungle here early. And Insight going to be up against it. Just a really good draft by Smeagol. And Smeagol going to be leading the charge here on Luna. Ace Room picked up by Taku. So, I mean, Weaver should get some good farm here, too, as well. I mean, like, I don't mean to sound like he's going to get dominated. Same here. I mean... The Naga's not going to have a horrendous time. PG, by the way, played an excellent puck in game number 1. Or last game, I should say. And definitely, if he has another performance like that, going to be hard to overcome. Going to be hard regardless, just because of the way these teams match up and line up. But, you know, in mid, these both should do okay. And that's all things being equal. If one player just outplays another, you'll have that. But we'll watch the lanes take shape. I mean, once the laning phase breaks down, the team fight advantage you have to give the team fight advantage to Insight. You just have to. Smeagol is going to be able to help things out quite a bit with, of course, the Eclipse. And going to be caught in cogs now. There's a disruption. Ice Path drops him off right into it. His illusions run into it. But another thing worth mentioning, AEI owns you. Is going to... be able to bail Smeagol out. It's going to allow him to play a little bit more chest out because in situations like we just saw, only so much he can be punished for that.
Impure.
I suspect this will be an active lane. But once the team fight really begins, I mean, in terms of pure damage output and reliable disable, SMG wins certainly in damage output. They've got 3 carries. Or 2 carries and an off carry. And TA is Snowball carry. She gets a great start. And she seems to be doing pretty well here in mid. She'll be able to just start snowballing and collapsing on this bottom lane. And we can already see, look at this. This is the damnable part of having a melee hero trying to farm in a situation like this. He's going to catch the Grave Chill and be forced down. Split Earth actually does catch Taku. It's a lot of free damage, and Rocket Flare adds to it, so... Taku being reminded, hey, you're not the only one who can do damage here, bro. But if they can keep the lane frozen right here, this is going to be hard going. This is going to be some real hard going out of Insight. Taking a look at the weave. He's sitting at 9 CS to the 9 of the Lone Druid, so about a break even, about what we expected. And, of course, I wouldn't miss first blood because I'm looking at mid. AEI owns you, being pursued, 1 auto attack, not enough, and Shakiro over pursued. They may get him. Does he have a Lucent Beam? Nope, just short of it. He has a Lucent Beam there. They're going to get the Visage. Ooh, Split Earth. Well shot, but missed by an inch. So look at this. 2 heroes making away with a collective 100 HP, 150 HP, give or take. Smeagol just a little too low on mana, where he cleans up the Jakiro as he ran away. But anyway, in mid, TA is getting a much better time of the Naga than I expected, especially this early on. 16-9. I mean, again, a Naga shouldn't be dominating or anything, but should be at least a little bit more even the first few levels. It's going to get real bad for her as the levels increase, for sure. Back at the base, 2 supports, dipping out of lane. Luna happy to just soak some XP. Has Zabassi now. Should help resolve some mana issues, and another pause. Going to hope we can get moving once again momentarily. Again, this is the front end of a doubleheader between these two teams. Insight and SMG. SMG getting a good win under their belt in the previous game. And it looks like we're going to have a quick... Oh, that's no fun. Looks like we have a bug. Gonna hope it's one that's easily enough resolved with a reconnect. And that's a really weird bug. Let's see. The Lunar Blessing. Yep. Looks like, okay, looks like, yeah, I guess we're just going to resume and hope. But yeah, Lunar Blessing giving 0 damage. That is kind of ball sacks. I would be upset. Nonetheless, they lead 2-0 as Lone Druid actually just solo killed a Weaver. I'm sorry I missed both kills. I'm sorry, but how do you expect that, man? How a Weaver should not die solo to a Druid. It should never happen. Ever. And the Bear, I mean, yes, he's got an Orb of Venom. It must have been a real bad entangle. And the Weaver playing way too close to the bone with his health. TA finds a haste rune. Not going to dip down here. And right now, though, CS for Clock. Not bad. Sitting at 11 to the 14 of Smeagol. The death down here certainly didn't help things, but what you gonna do? Damage output's honestly not too shabby. Smeagol at about half health. Gonna be withdrawing back with his team. The rest of the lanes, I mean, again, should be pretty static. 12 CS to 22. The Druid, obviously, with that kill opening up a considerable lead. We see... And this is when the TA should be getting ahead. You know, level 6, that's when she really becomes more of a threat because side traps, Cog's going to be off the mark, and they're going to go ahead and... Oh, yeah, there's a disruption. Beautifully shot. Ice Path caught all 3. They're still going to pursue this out. The Shadow Demon has to turn and run. Long range on the Soul Assumption. There's a Rocket Flare spit out. Leshrac in trouble, and Soul Assumption will get that killer. That's going to make it 3, and it should force Insight back once again. 5.5 minutes in, and SMG already off to a phenomenal start. And Insight...
Radiant's middle tower is under
And
attack.
honestly, I think this is going to be just one of those games that comes down to the draft. I think Insight's draft just... not all that great. SMG seems to have won in every lane.
Absolutely not.
And you know, you expect the TA to get bullyish, but you expect it a little bit later than we saw. Nonetheless, at the very least, Naga is getting her levels, and a well-leveled Naga is still a fairly decent problem. And we're gonna see Taku and Peachy. Peachy going to grab an illusion rune. He is going to turn southward. And that should be, I mean, they should have seen that. There's no doubt about it. Naga saw a hasted TA, and yeah, they're dipping down into the trees. And this is the dive they can take, honestly, without too much of a problem. Yep, there they go. There's the illusions going out. And Peachy going to follow him in. They're going to find a Jakiro and a Leshrac. Lesh trying to eat his way back. He's going to be in trouble. Cogs go down in the front. In the meantime, Ice Path caught AEIOju. And there's a nice disruption to bail the Visage out. If that saves his life, nope, didn't save his life. It certainly delayed it. Peachy still going to work. They've already got 2 out of this tri-lane, soon to make it 3. No help at all. And that, you just can't have that happen. No TP in the inventory of the Naga. Weaver could have come help. You can't have 4 diving 3 and you don't come help. Because you're basically, at that point, when you're playing a professional team, or a aspiring professional team, they're gonna make those situations work. They're gonna get kills. So with no help coming in, they just basically fed 3 for free, including their only real reliable damage dealer in terms of initiation, which is a Clockwork. And when you call him a damage dealer, it's only reliable initiation. Smeagol will be disrupted. AEIOju is playing very well. Split Earth off the mark. Cogs are going to be just enough up. Soul Assumption, got him. That's why you pick Visage in an offensive tri-lane. His range is sick good. Just sick good. No other word for it. Stupid good. And already this game beginning to get out of control. 1-7. 4,000 gold to lead for SMG. 3,000 experience. And what makes matters worse, the Luna, aside from being as well farmed as the best farmer on your team, is still underfarmed compared to the other carrier on their team, which is the Druid, who has 50 CS, give or take, at 8.5 minutes. Most likely getting himself a Midas. We'll have it in 400 gold. Gonna get it after his boots. He already has his tranks up. The bear already with a casual love face. Not really. That's really nice. But, I mean, this is kind of what Insight has to do now. They picked that. They decided to run that 3 support tri-lane. And in retrospect, probably would have been a lot smarter to just stick the Weaver there and off the clock. That way, at least the Weaver can deal some damage in these fights. He can spam Shikuchi. And it makes it a bit more daunting for SMG to be playing as aggressive as they are. Vici on the other side of the river has an invis.
Radiant structures
We're just going to see SMG capitalize on the absence of this bottom lane.
Is under attack.
Bottom lane is smoked. They're going to try to make something happen. Clockwork. Not even level 6, doesn't have hook. And looks like they spotted this.
Radiant's top tower.
Ice Path, going to catch 2. Here they come, looking for Cogs. Dual Breath slows him down. One's going to be bounced out to the high side. AI Oju should be cleaned up and will be. Weaver came that time. And this is... The Ice Path actually looked like that connected. They're going to... Weaver will just go for it. Trying to chase him down. Lightning doing good damage. And Soul Assumption. Cannot underestimate Soul Assumption. Taku is playing a very good Visage. And that's one of the things about the hero. I mean, you can talk a lot about all of the flexibility you have with how you use his familiars and what you're able to do with it. But in the end, he just has a big-ass nuke that he can drop on you from 8 miles away. It's like firing artillery. And all this time, by the way, Smurf split pushing. Has had more than enough for his Midas for a while now. Doesn't even look like he cares.
Radiant's top tower
3 resume their station near bottom. A little bit of rotation going on. Naga trying to go toe-to-toe with Peachy. Peachy right on par with her. And that mid lane's actually gone the opposite of what I would have expected. Which is the Naga should have done better early and then slowly faded off late and started to struggle. Instead, she did poorly early. And as the laning phase has gone on, has been able to hang toe-to-toe with Peachy a little bit easier.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Still keeping an eye on the Druid. What he wants
Radiant's
to do.
bottom tower is under attack.
They're going to hook up here in mid. And Peachy, trying to run away, was under cover of Meld. Ice Pass off the mark. The ensnare's not. Doesn't have a refraction, so Peachy will end up dropping. Not a bad kill for them to get. However, they lose the tower at bottom over it. And Luna and the supports continue to add to their inventories. Drums plus Aquila, excuse me.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And they're going to try to take down the tier 1 mid.
Structures are fortified.
No reactions, so they should be able to get it. Eight to 3. Insight showing some signs of life. Some desperately needed signs of life. We can see that slight tick up at the bottom means at least they're stopping the bleeding. They may still need to have reconstructive surgery, but the bleeding at least has stopped. Luna going to be in great shape so far as just pure all-around gain goes. Going to have good stat gain from the drums. Going to be in good shape with the Aquila in terms of some bonus armor. Now, if she wanted to go Helm of the Dominator here, I actually wouldn't mind it at all. Don't know that's what is going to happen. She may just go straight up Yasha. But she's already up to 14 armor with the bonus associated with Aquila. If she went Helm of the Dom, got to 19 armor, you look at this team from Insight, where's the damage? If she's rocking 19 armor, and she could have that right now, basically. You're going to have some composite damage from Lesh. You're going to have Macro Pyre, and that's about it. In terms of non-physical damage, it's actually worth mentioning. And in a lot of ways, that comes down to just how comfortable she is going to the late game. Smurf and Weaver. Up, hang on. We're going to have a battle here. There's the Naga Sleep. I didn't know the Visage Familiars weren't affected by that. That's interesting. Ice Path leads off, and the re-engagement. He should be able to get a win here. Insight making a run for it, though. Here comes Taku back up. Soul Assumption gets the kill. SMG withdrawing. Insight has yet to bring anyone down. That's such a shame. Double kill for Taku. Look at this. Once again. 56 HP. Oh, they actually does end up dying, but they trade away one. They didn't need the... They're going to end up feeding 5 for that. Would have been much better off to feed up. Side Trap does connect. And Naga dead to the Shadow Demon. Shadow Poison OP, bro. Here comes another TP. They're going to get the Lesh again for free. And waiting on the drums. Phase on TA. And they realize they really can't afford to engage. Here come the Familiars. And they will go ahead and withdraw. So 14-4. SMG just kind of walloping on them at the moment. 10,000 gold at 14 minutes. 10,000 experience. There's TA's Blink Dagger. Like, I'm honestly don't know what they could go do a Roche easily right now. For free. And I don't think there's anything that Insight could do. Tower, tier 1 tower began. They just walked the Druid down there. Speaking of the Druid, did pick up his relic, so it will be a Radiance Rush, opting not to go Midas.
Radiant structures are fortified.
The bear pulled back, but they should be able to siege this out relatively quickly. And there it goes. No, yep, there goes TA, showing off a double damage rune, Soul Assumption from downtown, and an unfortunate root for Naga. That's that. And a disruption, they're ready to go again. Taku eating a lot of damage, took a couple tower shots there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And
attack.
here comes Clock. There's another root, though, on the Lesh. Those pro roots, bro. Ice Fraud. Nerf, please. Weaver trying to do what he can. Meld is just hitting every hero on the side of Insight for half their
Radiant's
health.
bottom tower is
He may be able to get the
attack.
Shadow Demon. And nice time lapse. Got him out of trouble, at least momentarily.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
So
attack.
Moon Madness, at least doing his part.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
But it's 16 minutes, and yeah, we just see Smeagol actually just got the bottom tower too. Now able to TP home. 15,000 at 15 minutes. It's over 15, so I'm going to call it again. This has to be the 6th time in the last 48 hours I've seen teams eclipse the 1,000 gold per minute lead mark, which is just unbelievable. I don't think I've seen it 6 times in the last 6 months before this. Does not happen often. Just doesn't happen. And SMG, Smeagol, looking to be very much in control of this game. BKB will be the choice from Smeagol. He needs about 300 gold to finish that out. Shakiro, Lesh, broke as jokes. Naga Siren trying to tank up. Has already picked up a vitality booster. And the Clockwork pretty damn broke as
Dire's
well.
bottom tower is under attack.
And again, I really don't know what they could do. They have the initiation advantage, but they don't have a team that can fight. They just don't. Not right now. Too far behind, not enough gold, not enough levels. 16 minutes in, top 4. And it's not even close is the thing. Top 4 in net worth all
Dire's
belong
bottom tower is under attack.
to SMG. There's that Roshan I was talking about. I mean, just no way they could contest it. Whenever your top farmer is doubled up by net worth at 17 minutes into the game by the enemy team's top farmer, you got problems. Whenever your top farmer is doubled up by 3 and beaten by 4 position Visage, that's when it may be time to just look ahead and look to get another win. Look to get another game under your belt. 17-5, 22 kills. And SMG looking to be in a position to close this game out remarkably early. Tier 2 mid, the last outer tier remaining tower for Insight. And again, I don't even know what to do. Ice Paths don't hurt. Cogs aren't scary.
Radiant's middle tower
Sometimes you eat the bar, and sometimes the bar eats you. Here we go. Macro Pyre down. Nice Ice Path. Caught a few. Bear eating some damage, but again, I mean, they've got a mech, and the bear just doesn't care. Vanguard on Naga Siren. And Jakiro forced out by nothing but magic damage. TA joins in the fun, and there's another Soul Assumption that gets Visage another kill. Tier 3 down and snare out on Shadow Demon. And the Rax will be dropping. Make it 2 as the range Rax drops. They could just pull back, heal up, and do it again. They honestly don't even have a need for downtime. They don't need the TP away at all. Insight at 20,000, and that's really remarkable. That's like 1,200 gold per minute lead generated at this point. It's rare enough to see it actually get above 1,000, even if it's just by a handful. Like, this is unassailable. This is, I mean, friggin' sake. If the notches aren't lying, they're coming up on 25,000 gold to their lead, and we're short of 20 minutes still. Boom! Just amazing. Weaver gonna at least maybe slow that bleeding. Gets the tier 1. That leaves them one tier 1 tower still standing. But it's a problem for Insight because they have no outer tier tower standing, and they're missing a Rax in mid. They're gonna have to try to make something happen soon. Dropping the Macro Pyre to farm it, man. There's a root. Wow. That's just unpleasant. Druid gonna be caught out now. Yeah, looks like the Naga realizes that's not a fight she can really take. Helps on the way. Smeagol and Peachy moving in that direction. Side trap caught 2. And Smeagol gonna use the Eclipse. Creeps are there just in time to split the damage. Don't think it matters. Soul Assumption almost enough to get the clock again. Nice hook that time. And we see that range being shown off. Looks like the Lone Druid did bring down the Naga. But now, Druid and company. Ready to rock this bottom Rax. Weaver's going to be back up. Still so early in the game, the respawn timers make it hard to do this. And there's going to be the sleep. They're fairly well grouped. But what now? You can maybe get 2 with the cogs, maybe 3. Or you can get none. Ice Path, Macro Pyre's there. They're going to follow this up. The cogs did nothing. They're like the goggles. 1 death, make it 2, make it 3. I mean, what else can... There's really almost no reason to call it. The damage is so fast that the decisions being made don't matter. Right clicks alone would be enough to win this. And go G2. GG, well played, says Insight. And... You know, Insight's still struggling, but 21 minutes, almost 25,000 gold by the time it's over. That's insane. Truly remarkable. I mean, and it doesn't matter if this was just 5 random dudes off of matchmaking. This is tough to do. It really is. It really and truly is. Tough to do that in any circumstance. Let alone to a team of nice guys with some Dota talent and Insight. Insight, you know, they are good players in their own right most of the time. They've just been struggling a lot here in the ADL. Still cannot find themselves a win. And falling down into the bottom of the ADL standings. They've been there for a while. They fall to 0-9 now. And their last chance to get a win or get a notch in the win column before falling to 0-10 is going to be their next game. They're going to meet this same team again. Smeagol improves their record to either 3-2 or 4-2. Pretty sure it is. Let's see. They played Dignitas and lost, and they won. So that's 1-1 on the day, making 2-1 on the day. They're looking to go 3-1. So yeah, they're 3-2 right now, which moves them up to the top, the best of the rest status, basically. And if they can get a win, they'll be contending for those top 5 slots here in the ADL playoffs. Once again, guys, thanks for spending your Saturday here with us, morning, evening, or afternoon. Happy to have you a part of the broadcast. No matter what corner of the globe you happen to call home. We got our last game of the evening. Insight.Avell meeting Smeagol once again. That's coming up next. Stick with us. We'll be right back.